On July 20, 1969, the United States of America successfully landed a manned spacecraft on the surface of the Moon. This achievement, known as the Apollo moon landing, is widely considered to be one of the greatest accomplishments in human history. The mission was the culmination of a decade-long effort by NASA, and it represented a triumph not only for the United States, but for all of humanity. The Apollo moon landing was the result of a bold and ambitious goal set by President John F. Kennedy in 1961. At the time, the Soviet Union was leading the space race, having successfully launched the first manned spacecraft, the Vostok 1, just a few months prior. Kennedy was determined to catch up and surpass the Soviet Union by landing a man on the moon before the end of the decade. On May 25, 1961, President Kennedy announced the goal of the program in a speech to Congress: "We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard." To achieve this goal, NASA embarked on a massive undertaking known as the Apollo program. The program was divided into several phases, with the ultimate goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to Earth. The first phase of the program involved testing and developing the necessary technology, such as the Saturn V rocket, which would be used to launch the Apollo spacecraft into orbit. The second phase of the program involved the launch of unmanned test flights and the orbiting of the moon. The Apollo program encountered many challenges and setbacks along the way, but on July 16, 1969, the Apollo 11 spacecraft, commanded by astronaut Neil Armstrong, was launched into space. Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins traveled to the moon, and on July 20, 1969, Armstrong and Aldrin became the first humans to set foot on the lunar surface, while Collins orbited above. The achievement of the Apollo moon landing was a result of a combination of factors, including political will, scientific expertise, and technological advancement. The Apollo program brought together some of the most brilliant minds in science, engineering, and mathematics, who worked tirelessly to design and build the spacecraft and its various systems. The program also required the development of new technologies, such as the Lunar module, which was designed to land on the moon's surface, and the Lunar rover, which was used to transport the astronauts around the lunar surface. The Apollo moon landing represented a giant leap for mankind in several ways. Firstly, it demonstrated that human beings were capable of achieving incredible feats when they set their minds to it. Secondly, the landing provided evidence of the existence of a new and uncharted world, which would later serve as a platform for further exploration and discovery. Thirdly, the event symbolized the peaceful competition and cooperation between nations and their scientific institutions. It was not only an American achievement but a global achievement as well. The Apollo moon landing also had significant implications for the Cold War. At the time, the United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a tense competition for global dominance, known as the Cold War. The Apollo program and the moon landing were seen as a way for the United States to demonstrate its technological and military superiority over the Soviet Union. In conclusion, the Apollo moon landing of 1969 was a defining moment in human history. It represented a milestone in scientific achievement, technological innovation, and international relations. The event continues to inspire future generations of scientists and explorers, and it serves as a reminder of what humanity can accomplish when we work together towards a common goal.